Tell them run it all.
What is going on? What is going on? Everybody in the house, what is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, thumb down now.
Check.
No drip, this
Wet.
Tell them run it all. No sleep, no
Rest.
Might crash, might
Wreck.
but first I
Stretch.
Tell them run it all. I wake up,
Flex.
thumb down now.
Check.
No drip, this
Wet.
Tell them run it all. I wake up,
Flex.
thumb down now.
Check.
No drip, this
Wet.
Tell them run it all.
All right, guys, what's going on, everybody? HMA, Cleveland Terry. What is going on? What is going on? Sorry about that. I was just trying to get to the right button. Today is Tech, the Cleveland Terry DJ show, aka Tech Thursday, aka Tech Wednesday. I'm going to be looking up at the comments today to make sure that we are not echoing. I found what I believe to be the solution. And it's a dumb solution. It makes perfect sense. Perfect sense, except for the fact that I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old and I'm just losing my mind. But here's the problem. So when I set up the stream, I set it up through OBS. Went through all its courses. I got to turn on monetization and all that stuff. But in order to get my comment section to pop up so I can do things like this, like so. In order to get my comment section to pop up, I need to get the ID of the YouTube stream, which means I have to go onto YouTube. I got to open up the window, even though there's nothing that's actually being broadcasted, take the YouTube ID and then copy and paste that into the settings section of Social Stream and then activate it. But because I'm going from one thing to the next, sometimes I forget to turn off that other page. And then we have a situation like this where there's echoes. Not today, but sometimes there's echoes. So thank you guys for your patience and understanding. We are doing the show today because unfortunately, this isn't my bread and butter job, and I don't make enough money on my stream to say, hey, I need to have it every Thursday. Thursday is my day. That's going to continue to be my day. But every so often, life gets in the way. You know, I have family, and my kids have a dance convention on Friday, which means on Thursday, I got to run around and take my daughter to get her hair done and blah, 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 all this stuff. And of course, it's scheduled right in between my show. Now, my wife knows not to do this. Needless to say, the last couple of times I've had to reschedule my shows, it's because, you know, I can't say the name more than twice because then she'll come out of the wall and cut my throat. I kid. But you know, that is the issue. So Thursday, I've just found has been the best day. Just overall, it's not a day like today because like today, right after this show, I have conference calls all day. 12 p.m. for me, Pacific Standard Time, because I'm in California. I got to get off because I got to get right on a call right after that. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays for me are kind of a nightmare. Thursday seems to be just easier. I've gotten everything done for the week. I mean, this week we have, what do we have this week? We don't have as many this week. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So maybe it's a little more than I let on for Saturday. So, and we have a whole lighting production package too. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. So obviously Monday, Tuesday, today, I'm just trying to make sure everything is done. I've rented all the vehicles for all the DJs and made sure that all the gobos and all those things were going to be ready by Friday to go. So just a lot of stuff, and so by Thursday, usually you've nailed all of that extra stuff. You've nailed all the things you needed to have taken care of. So then Thursday is a little easier. You can rest your mind a little bit. Wednesday, there's no mind resting. You're still going, oh my God, do I have everything? I ordered something like right now. I ordered something from Amazon 2 days ago. I'm on Prime, like everybody else. And it was supposed to be delivered yesterday by 8 p.m. Now, normally when that happens, if it doesn't show up by 8 p.m., something happened and that whole package is screwed. Normally, that's what that means. Every so often, it'll come through and we'll be okay. But I'm a little concerned because there's some things in it that I actually need. So Wednesday after the show, I'm going to make sure that it's not outside, dropped off. I have a feeling that it's just sitting in somebody's van and they either didn't have a chance to get out to me or whatever. So, if I don't get it today, I got to reorder them. I got to reorder one more time because that's the joy. That's the joy. Wednesday is like that deadline day for pretty much everything. Okay. So, when I looked at, see, it's still on there. See, this was supposed to be off. I had it set in my settings. Let's make sure my mechanics, it's supposed to go off after 20 seconds. Hide messages after 20 seconds is toggled on. I wonder. Hold for one moment here. I think I know what happened. This is one of those things that we are constantly trying to keep everything going the way we want it, keep it smooth. And I'm assuming that this might be the problem right here. Apply. Don't break it. Close. All right. Somebody put a comment in real quick because it just reset my comments. Let me make sure that it's there. Anybody, any comment. I can't even clear off the one comment that's on my screen right now. There we go. Okay, now let's see if this thing comes. Okay, look, guys, girls, men, women, they, them. Is there really anything we need to talk about with Grimes, honestly, that hasn't been discussed for the last 3 days, 4 days? Yes, it went away. Do we really need to do that? I mean, look, I will say this, and then we'll keep it moving. There's something to be said. Sorry. Okay, so it got rid of it on my comments, but it did not get rid of it on my screen. It's just deleting. Ooh, I don't want that. Okay, hold on. Let me make a quick change real quick because it's taking off my messages. So I can't even see any messages. So let me just refresh this. Hold on. We do not want that happening. No. There's got to be a way to have the message go away. So don't post anything right now, people, until I tell you to. Hide source, hide message from, no, I don't care about any of that. I just want to Guess there's no way to do this. Oh well. All right. Don't leave any messages because it is legitimately erasing you guys after 20 seconds. So let me just reset that. Okay. You're free to leave messages now. All right. So, Grimes. All right. You know, there's only a couple of things that come to mind when I kind of listen to what she said, and regardless of the technicality of, you know, the BPM glitch that is apparently, you know, something that happens on occasion on the CDJs. Besides that fact, I think most of us were all sitting there going, okay, your BPMs don't work. Okay. Use your ears. You got 50,000 speakers and 400 monitors around you. So just, you know, use your ears. And this is one of those things. Grime time is still up. Let me just get rid of this. This is one of those things that is perfect timing for what the world is kind of moving into. And what I mean by that is, hold on, 2-2. Okay. What I mean by that is the sync or not sync question, hate, Republican, Democrat, either you sync or you don't sync it. If you sync, you're this. And if you don't sync, you're this. All of those things for old heads, as you'd like to call them, all those things for old heads boil down to one thing. We're going to remove the whole, oh, well, if you sync, you're not a real DJ. And if you do this, you're not a real DJ, or this or that or that. Use your tools available to you. Get rid of that. When I ever said to people, don't use sync, and I will turn around and say, but I use sync too. And then they're like, I don't understand. That's kind of a contradiction. That's hypocrisy. And I say, absolutely not. I'm saying don't use sync if you don't know how to beat match by ear, not visuals, by ear. Once you've mastered DJing by ear, you can use any tool at your disposal. Any tool. I don't care what it is. Anything you can use. Once you learn how to DJ, then when people say they gave you tools, use them. Then you absolutely use them. But until you've learned how to do these things manually, I don't think you're ready for sync. I just don't think you're ready for sync. But once you can do it, you sync all your life, every day, any day. Because if you did DJ with your ears, doesn't matter the preparation, doesn't matter the tracks, doesn't matter who made your playlist. I'm reading through the comments right now, and there are people saying there's more of a situation of prep. It doesn't matter. If somebody gave you a set of songs, here you go. Here's 40 songs. Mix these. Go down the line. Go down the line, okay? I mean, but let's just say they're not down the line. I don't know. There's these things that you can use nowadays. They're called headphones, in-ear monitors, where you can plug them into the deck and actually listen to a song and listen to the tempo of said song, and then actually make adjustments on the fly. Because that's what a DJ does. He makes adjustments, he or she makes adjustments on the fly. And for anybody to listen to a track, and we're doing electric dance music. It's not that far off. But even if it is far off, it's still not that far off. You see, this is the thing, and Kalo, this is hilarious because, you know, this was the whole thing about, well, everybody pre-records. So if you pre-record, then, well, apparently not everybody pre-records. So that is definitely something to appreciate, I guess. Um, you know, there's something to be said for us old heads being able to do this, being able to take any record and go, look, I mean, aren't we human beings? Don't we know that we're listening to music? And I guarantee you, she's not playing music that she's just never heard before. So, at a minimum, you should be able to feel that tempo. At a minimum. Right now, I can think of 15 different songs, and I know relatively close to where the songs are going to fall BPM wise. It is rare that I'll be listening to a song in my head going, you know what? This song would be really good with this song. And then I get to my decks and I start playing and I'm like, oh, wow, it's much faster than I thought. That's rare because you know. Okay, now let's see what the comment section is saying here. Let's see here. She brought up unprepared tracks. Who cares? Honestly, who cares? It does not look. Okay. That's fine. Somebody walks up to me. Somebody walks up to me and says, hey, I want you to take these records and I want you to DJ. I want you to mix these songs together. You know, you got some DMX, you got some doubles, you got some Elton John, you got some reggae, you got some Romeo Must Die. Don't ask me why I have that album here. You got some 3LW. I want you to take this, and then I want you to DJ these songs. What are you gonna do? You're just gonna say, sorry, I don't know how. You're gonna put the record on. You're gonna listen to it real quick. You're gonna hear, maybe you're gonna skip forward a minute. Say, is there anything I should be aware of? Is there any drops, any changes? Okay, song is even. It's an even, this feels like about 112. Cool, 112. All right, I will make the adjustments. I will start mixing in my ear, try to feel it out. And when it's all said and done, when it's all said and done, we're still DJing digitally. So is it so hard for anybody to just drop on the one? Is that so hard? I mean, in all honesty, and look, my only issue, I only had one issue. I only had one issue is when she was like, look, my beats aren't right. So I'm just going to have to go ahead and mix by ear. Like she made it seem like she was turning water into wine. You know, and these people that are on the dance floor they're just like, whoa, oh my God, she's gonna mix manually. Oh my God. You know, it reminds me of what was it? Was it I Am Legend? Not I Am Legend. It's the other one. I can't think of the name. The Will Smith movie in the future with the robot. iRobot. Duh. And he's driving his car and then the bus pulls up to the side and he was like, what the hell? And he puts it in manual. And the lady's like, what are you doing driving in manual? Like, it's okay. We're able to do so. So, you know, I don't know. I just I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's good timing. I think we needed something like this because I think people were really starting to believe that you really don't need to know how to DJ. Like, I'll just use all the tools that they gave me and then I'll work. And the funny thing about, sync, the funny thing about it is, I know I've been saying this forever. First off, sync is not perfect and it can screw you. I have tons of songs, not tons of songs, because I've modified them. I have songs that are 130, but in Serato, they show up as 90 beats per minute. Now I can go in there and manually override it. I can hard override it, which I have done, but there are some songs that like, let's say I forget and I just have to go, I know this song. I know what the tempo should be. And then I just adjust for it. So it couldn't have come at a better time, you know. I don't like I said, I do not have a problem with sync. I think sync is fine if you know what you're doing. I think that automatic cars with automatic transitions are amazing. One of the best inventions, an automatic transmission. My F-150 has like 10 gears. Do I want to manually drive with 10 gears? No, but automatic, you can do that. Now, having said that, if I am at a restaurant and then I hear alarms in the sky, nuclear war, or there's an attack coming this way, and I have to get into somebody's car, and it's a Volkswagen Bug, and it's a stick shift, you better well know that I'm going to know how to drive that car because I learned how to drive stick shift. Doesn't mean every car I drive has to be a stick shift. Sometimes I want to drive automatic, but I can drive stick. So, my son knows how to drive stick because I had a friend. I taught him how to drive in his car before he got his license. And it's a small little EcoSport, nice, easy car that doesn't go too fast, doesn't go too slow. It's just perfect for a newbie. And so we drove, for 6 months, like pretty much every day, every other day. And then he got his license. And then I had a friend down the road who had a VW Bug, and he would come over sometimes, for events that we'd have. And then I'd say, hey man, you want to take him out in the Bug? Let him learn how to drive stick? He's like, of course. Took him out. Now he knows how to drive stick. Wasn't that hard? But it's hard when you've never done it before. So I'm more at shock that any DJ that DJs at all can't manually beat match. It's just amazing to me. It's amazing to me. Because I've always said, no matter how complicated the equipment you're using is, okay? You might even grab some brand new software, okay? Oh, I'm using Virtual DJ today. Oh, I'm using Rekordbox. Oh, I'm using Serato, Oh, and even if they have all of these like crazy features, all right, add-ons, all this stuff, you're just like, oh my God, this is too much stuff on the screen. I don't know what to do. You can always go back to 2 songs and a mixer, okay? 2 tracks and a crossfader. You can always go back to that. You can always go back to that. So people are trying to go from step 1 to step 42. And then when something goes wrong, they don't know the steps to do it on their own. And I know she's a producer. That's even worse. She's a producer. I mean, producers, you should know tempo. If you are producing on the consistent, that tempo becomes ingrained in your body, just like DJing. You should know tempo. And yeah, Kayla says producer in quotation marks. Look, I'm not here to question whether or not she produces. There's some dope ass female producers out there and males and stuff like that, that I know are doing some amazing stuff. But regardless, I don't know. Okay, let's see here. I mean, even if she is or if she doesn't, Ruben, I mean, it is what it is. You know, I look, that's all I'm saying is if you're DJ, look, she's on the road. I mean, I think she's DJing a lot. She's not just DJing this one festival for the first time, but who knows? I could be wrong. You know, maybe she spends most of her time just producing and she never DJs. But everybody knows if you're a producer, you got to be a DJ. And if you're a DJ, why aren't you a producer? Like it drives me nuts when I hear all these absolute statements. Some people are just born DJs and some people are born producers. It doesn't mean that you're going to be equally as good at both of them. You know, I know tons of DJs that produce and, you know, their stuff is questionable at best, but they love to do it, but it doesn't mean the music is good. So, you know, anyway, what other DJ gear will we see this year? I don't know. I don't know, Heartbeat. That's not even a thing I can answer because most of the stuff is you know, not allowed. I'm more mad at the crowd for cheering her mistakes. They don't even hear her. They're all high. They have no idea what she just said. They thought that she was like, I'm going to do manual. And they're like, oh my God, this girl's going to do something we've never seen before. That's all. They're kids. Kids don't know anything about DJing. I was pulling out my iPad for something. I can't remember. Let's see. There is something I'm hope to be getting soon. And that is, let me see if my email came through yet. I think they're on the other side of the world, so we're gonna run into some issues communicating. But you know who contacted me yesterday? Maestro DMX contacted me yesterday. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. I want to see what the hype is. That's assuming they even sent it because I said, you know, I mean, look, I'm all transparent about what I do. I'm like, yeah, I would love to review it and maybe even become, you know, an influencer for your product. I said, but let's not do that yet until I'm able to review the product. I'm like, if it's as good as you guys claim, then I will 100% tell everybody about it. Who doesn't want good products? You know, who doesn't want something amazing? I do. Who doesn't want something that's going to make your life easier? I do, but it has to work. You know, it has to work. You know, not like, oh God, what is that new piece of hardware? Sorry, I'm reading your text. All right. Let's see here. Have you reviewed the Alele unit 4-monitor speakers? I have never even heard of them, in all honesty. Is that a thing? Alele? Are they made in Hawaii? Where'd it go? Is that AI? Is that the name of the speaker? Okay. AI audio. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. Not that. I'm so tired of seeing this. Deny. Okay. Headphones, wireless studio monitors. They're studio monitors. Okay. So, the short answer is no. I have not used them. You know, I mean, they look cool. I'm not gonna lie. Those are some good looking highs here. So, and this is another thing that a lot of companies are starting to try to send me. Soundbox, whatever, is another one that I'm talking to right now. So, I don't know. And those are wireless too. I don't know, man. I got a lot of wireless. I mean, I got a lot of studio monitors in this room right now. I have some Rolands. I have some Yamahas. I have some KRKs. And you're saying the DJ headphone. I do in-ears, so that doesn't... Look, I don't know, man. It's not that I have stopped wanting every product in the world sent to me. In all honesty, you know, and also it's a lot. I'm really busy right now. I wish these people would send all this product to me like mid-June, you know, June. Cause that way I have after the second or third week of June, I'm dead, you know, cause we're not a wedding company. We're a bar mitzvah company. So we work with the school year only. Every so often we'll have a few weddings here and there. I mean, we have weddings throughout the year, but like typically they're a lot of Latin weddings, strangely enough, and Jewish weddings, but we don't do a lot of weddings in July. So I have plenty of time. It's competing against the Wave 8 speaker. No, it's not. It's not possible. The Wave 8 is an external outside speaker. These are studio monitors, so they can't compete against one another. Okay, let's see. Ska's cool, but it's 2.4. Oh, that's what's competing. Thank you, Mac. Okay. You know, again, I know you guys are all into this whole 2.4 versus, you know, the 5 gigahertz spectrum and it's make or break. I get it. I don't know. I haven't had any problems. And keep in mind, Mac, that, you know, a lot of those sound blocks and even like Ska, they're mostly designed for in-home use. There's wireless studio stuff. So in that respect, does it really matter that they're on 2.4? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Okay. Feedback says, how do you like in-ears? Does it take time to get used to coming from standard headphones? So absolutely, it takes time. Absolutely. It takes time. It takes a specific in-ear that works. Not all in-ears are created the same. And then, you know, if you're going off the shelf, off the rack, and then you're getting like, you know, Comply tips, which are foam tips or even the silicone tips, and you know, you're using those, that can be harder to get used to because of the fact that it's a complete seal in your ear. So for a lot of people, that's the hardest part. People that use in-ears over the counter is because of that. And even if you have molded ears, you know, like I have with my Ultimate ears, you're still dealing with the fact that it's closing out your outside sound. And for a lot of people, that's hard to deal with. So, I mean, I've said this before, my Ultimate ears, I'm looking for my backpack. All right, hold on. Please hold for a minute while I go get them, just so I can show you. Okay. Um, so these are mine. My Ultimate Ears UE 11s. You can take a look. All right, so those are mine. And then you see in this bottom corner right here, right there, hard to see, but you can see kind of a little reflection. That is a hole. And that hole is the difference between me loving my in-ears and just being good with my in-ears. That hole is an air piece and it allows air to flow into your ears. Very small, but the difference between being able to hear somewhat outside of the headphones versus not hearing anything at all besides bass. So I can actually talk to people with my in-ears in because of that. That is an added upgrade, which definitely costs more. But like I use my in-ears on my flights, and when I first, I'll show you what they look like. When I first got them, and I took out the little silicone, and I was in the plane, and they were fine, but I'm like, wait, I'm still hearing some stuff here. And then I grabbed these things out of the case, which are the little silicone pieces, and they just go into the hole. And after that, it's dead silent. Dead silent. So I'm a big fan. Yes, somebody had mentioned that with in-ears, you don't need a monitor, which is very, very true. I think, but look, I mean, even without in-ears, you don't need a monitor. I mean, even if you're rocking over the ears, you don't need a monitor. You can just put both cans on your ears and call it a day. So that does exist. So I'm not really worried about that part. I just like the fact that I can wear my in-ears. They don't get in the way. I can keep doing everything and they're just there. And I can wear any hat that I want because every so often I don't wear just baseball hats, especially when I'm working. I might drop a fedora on them, you know. So you can't wear a fedora on with over the ears, over the head. You can't do that. So that's why the in-ears have been great for me. So, but to each their own. To each their own. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Thoughts on DJI mic system for ceremony. My thoughts are very simple about this because I have a little experience. I do own the DJI mics. I've never used them for ceremony. The range is good. The quality is good. I don't have a problem with them. Honestly, you know, I would definitely recommend getting a an external microphone that slips into there. That way, it's not exposed and showing on their bodies. That looks a little cheesy. But besides that, I don't have a problem with them. All right, let's see here. Let me see if I can answer some of these. So that Heartbeat says, if you get the opportunity to make your own controller, how would you do it? I don't know. I never thought about that. I've honestly never thought about that. That's not something that I can just speak on because I would want that controller to be the best controller ever made. And I don't know. I mean, look, this is the same thing. You know, since I work with all these companies, they'll send me prototype sheets of new gear that's coming out either this year or maybe even next year. And you know, they'll ask me for my opinion on it. And what do you think about this? And they'll send me, just show me a picture, and I'm just like, bro, like as much as I love the fact that you're showing me all this stuff and it's really cool, and I'm ahead of the curve, like that's great. The simple fact is there's no way I can really give you an educated opinion without touching and feeling the product. That's just the way I work. You know, I mean, I know some people can kind of just go, oh, well, but that's not me. You know, I need to be able to kind of sit back. I'm a Capricorn. So I need to be able to sit back and really do some deep thought before I give you my opinion. And it would be the same thing with the perfect gear, you know? I don't know. I don't know. I do know that my controller would have moving platters. I know that much. That is one thing I absolutely know. Because it's funny. No matter what, I have not used to this day a perfect controller. Not one. And this is coming from a person that loves the Rev 7. I haven't used a perfect controller. I don't think it exists, in all honesty. I really don't. I really don't. You know, I mean, even like the Rain 4, the Rain Performer, you know, which I have had hands on. You know, they all have such amazing qualities, and then they'll all have something questionable. The DDJ 1000 is a subjective statement, Steve. Is it close to perfect? It depends on what you're doing. If you are a CDJ user and you love that, you know, the 800, 900 mixer, then yes, maybe it comes close. But I don't like strip effects. As much as I love the jogs, they're not my jog of choice. The 1000 does have the dedicated mic, which is good, you know, because that was one of the first ones, because the SX came out after that one. So, you know, I mean, like I said, I haven't seen a perfect controller yet. Yeah, if they were to make a and just an updated just a revision, you know, revision A or whatever, Mark or Mark II, and just add on, if they added on all of the stuff that's on, and you don't even need to be 4-channel, but if you could add on like the deck move and stuff from the Rev 5 to the Rev 7, obviously make the stems. I know they're on there, but you do have to, you know, hit a button to make it happen. I just want them on there by default. These are just the pads. It is what it is. Add a little extra memory for Scratch Bank, not Scratch Bank, but Instant Scratch. That way we could send our own custom sounds into the module. Let's see here. Crossfader's good. I'm just thinking about it. Pitch is good. Yeah. That's probably close to it. Feedback. Why are you saying stems? What? Because, you know, it has stems now in the last firmware update. Opinion on best place to download music. Guys, these things don't exist. There is no best place to download music. It doesn't exist. There are probably hundreds of places to download music. I mean, right off the bat, if you don't do a record pool, you can do Apple Music, you can do Amazon Music, you can do anything where you can buy music. That's all downloadable. It's such a big thing. It's such a big thing. In all honesty, if you're talking about record pools, there's a lot of record pools. There's record pools that I haven't even used. It's like I'll mention something and people are like, well, I only use this one. This is the best. Like, okay. You know, I mean, if it works for you, great. But I can't even begin to know the best. I know what's potentially best for me, but in all honesty, I have been changing the way I do things. I've been changing the way that I stream. I have been changing the way I pull music. I've been changing I have a DJ City account. I have a DJ City. I have a BPM Supreme. I have a DMS account. And recently, I have barely been in them. barely been in them. I haven't really cared about intros anymore. I barely do intros. Honestly, I barely do intros. Like, I don't need an intro beat. I don't need that. If anything, I need it. If anything, I need a faster edit with an intro out that maybe goes to acapella or just the beat. But I think that we're all changing as we DJ. At least I would hope so. I would hope that everybody's changing. I would hope that you're not DJing the exact same way you DJ'd when you first started DJing. I hope to God that I'm correct on that, because if not, that's a bigger problem. Okay. I think that we all are just changing, and I'm just doing things differently. Queso in the house, DJ Kenny in the house. What's going on? T Diesel, that's my mod in the house. See, my MP3 pool is perfect for you. I mean, when I first started, the first one I ever used was what was it? It was Eighth Wonder. Eighth Wonder. That was the first record pool I ever got, and I thought that was the second coming. Oh my God, it had all this music, and it had old music and new music, and then, it had videos, and it had all this stuff. Things change. Things change. Okay, let's take a look at some questions here. I saw Philip Tan in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Hey, by the way, who lives in Pittsburgh? Who lives in Pittsburgh? If you do, I'm in Pittsburgh next week. Next week, I will be in Pittsburgh from Sunday through Wednesday at the Level Up conference. So if you guys are in Pittsburgh, let me know. Send me a DM. I would love to meet up. Love to meet up. Scrooge McDuck. Anyway, okay. Eighth Wonder was so bad, I'm pretty sure it killed one of my laptops. How does a browser-based you essentially just said, Microsoft, what back in Eighth Wonder, were you still using Mac back then? Or were you using Edge or go even way back? I mean, how did it kill it? Poorly encoded videos. Okay, I mean, maybe, or maybe your computer just couldn't handle it. There's a lot of little things here, but let's go with poorly encoded videos. Let's do that. You know what I've noticed? So I posted a video on IG. By the way, make sure you guys are following me on IG. I do post a lot of stuff that I do not post on here, that I only post on IG and or TikTok. So make sure you are following me. So I did a post yesterday about I was doing a site visit, and I live in LA, so it was in LA, this venue. And as we were going through the site, they have speakers. I'm like, okay, we can use your speakers. Yeah, you can use our speakers. They have like QSCs, some 12.2s, and some 118s. Like, okay, that works. I know the system. A little ghetto-y. It's like they had speaker that was a little off, and they had a couple speakers on the ground. I'm like, oh, you do like a four corner? Is this your speakers? Yeah, we just have them there, but the cord was on the ground. There was no tape down. There was nothing. I'm just like, you guys, I mean, you can try a little harder. And then I look up, and then there's clearly a table with a tarp on it. And I said, oh, is there gear under the table? She goes, oh yeah, you can definitely use that. You can use that. So I went up to the table and I pulled it open and I immediately shut it. Then I grabbed my camera, my phone, and I shot it and I posted it online. The most shocking part of what I'm about to tell you, most people were like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I would never use that, yada, 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 right? But when I tell you, I have had a mad rush of like strange CDJ defenders. Like bizarre. Okay. You guys saw how dirty it was, okay? And some people were like, it's just some dust, just blow it up. That wasn't dust. That was physical dirt. Okay? There's a dust is, oh, you're not blowing that off. That's dirt. That is dirty. When I tell you, let me see here. Hold on. All DJs need is a USB port, though. Somebody said, hold on, I gotta get to the hard ones. I've played on worse in clubs. And then they start to get angry. Tell me you don't know how to DJ without telling me. You know, there was one. Where is it at? Looks totally fine. Had worse to play on. When you call yourself a professional and still try to use the house system, it's basically brand new. What I'm saying here is, somebody said, yeah, just wipe the dust off. If you can't use them, just say you can't use them. One guy said to me, he said, he literally said, let me see if I can find it real quick. He made a comment and I had to just kind of call him out on it because the comment was so absurd. Let me see if I can find it real quick. And then we'll move on. And we'll get to my point, actually. Not we'll move on. Oh, okay. So this one guy says, that's why this is a post only noobs can relate to. I'm like, what? What does that even mean? Only noobs can relate to. So I said, well, what does that mean? So this guy says, I think he's saying that it's a perfectly good setup. Just knock the dust off. I'd use it in a heartbeat. And I made a joke. I said, remind me not to eat at your house. It's me. I'm petty. So he gets mad at me. He gets mad. He says, unused DJ equipment in a venue that has dust on it has nothing to do with how clean my house is, bro. If you don't know how to use the equipment, just say that. Now, this guy follows me. Okay? He follows me. How do you follow me and don't know what I do? Don't know that I review gear. So I literally said to him, are you serious? I've literally used or reviewed pretty much every piece of DJ gear on the planet. If I brought you to my house, you'd think you walked into a Guitar Center. I know that was probably a petty flex, but that is true though. It's true. Like, come on, don't call me out. Oh, no. Kenny, they come for me all the time. I get so much love and hate at the same time. It is an amazing, weird feeling to be happy and annoyed at the same time. It is bizarre. So you have to learn to just ignore people, and then move on. But every so often you'll see somebody's comment. Like half the comments here, I don't even reply to. I try to reply to just the good ones. But Kalo, it's not balance. See, that's the problem. Anybody that does anything via social media knows that balance doesn't exist. Okay, balance is this. This is balance, right? Okay, you have some opinions over here, you got some opinions over here, and then it just gets to a point where they meet in the middle, and now you got a good balance. That's not what social media is now. Social media is, I have an anvil on this side, right? And I have nothing here for a couple of minutes. So the anvil drops. Bam. Bam. Okay? Now you're angry, pissed off, bitter. Then the good comment, the good anvil comes. And then they push this anvil off because they're done with you. They've already totally beat you down. So they're done and they walk off. Now the good anvil comes up bam, and lifts you all the way up. I'm fine if there's actual balance, right? Some opinions, opposing opinions, both reasonable things. Not dickhead on this side and then crazy dickhead on this side also. And now we're just trying to find the best of the dickheads. Like, that's the world we live in right now. That is frustrating. And that's what I deal with all the time. I just did a video about the Humpster stands, right? I'm not an idiot. I know for a fact that they're expensive. I know that. But the fact that they're expensive does not take away the fact that they're good stands, right? So when I look at comments, appreciate the fact that I'm saying they're good stands and less about the fact about what they cost. Because if you can't afford them, you can't afford them. That does not change the quality of said stands. That does not change if they are good or bad. It's your choice. But if you can't afford them, you can't get mad because you can't afford them. You know, nowadays, and I'm not trying to even be, political, but like there was this one comment and they were talking about McDonald's employees because, they're upping the minimum wage for fast food to like $20 an hour. And these people, I'm not going to say which side they're on, but these people are saying, what? So you're saying if two people work at McDonald's and they work full time, they can make $80,000 a year? Well, I mean, that they're getting paid too much. They're getting paid too much. Like, first of all, you're not working at McDonald's. You had no thought of working at McDonald's. So what does it matter what they're getting paid? Somebody has to do the job. Somebody has to work that job. And it's the same thing with equipment. If something is too expensive, it's too expensive for you, but it may not be expensive for somebody else. And that's the issue. Like, I can recognize a Porsche Taycan is one of my favorite cars, but it is expensive. Now, if I ever had the money, would I buy one? Probably in a heartbeat. But it is expensive. I can appreciate that and go, I can't afford that. That's not going to be honest. As much as cool as it looks, I can't get one. And we have to look at this. It's all budget. What's right for me may not be right for you. That's why it drives me nuts when I watch some of these other influencers and they spend all this time talking about, why they don't use certain things and why you need to do this and you need to do that. And I'm sitting there going, well, maybe that's just not in their budget. Maybe they just can't afford that right now. Maybe they're just, stepping up and they're in their middle ground. Like, you can't just say that it's my way or the highway. You can't do that. And so then you have this weird feeling of bitterness because you think that you're not, you think, you're at the level, like talent wise, but you think you're not at the level because visually, maybe they're doing something a little different than you. I've rocked facades. I've rocked furniture. I've used the Humpster booth. We own the Humpster booth. I'm going to do a review on the Humpster booth next month. I'm going to have it in my possession. So I'm going to use it next month. I used the stands. I was incredibly impressed. The booth, for what it is, there's nothing else like it on the planet. There's nothing else like it. I mean, we've said this. That booth for the last 10 years has been a one-piece, humongous, gotta put it in a big ass trailer or rental, vehicle truck to get it to. I gotta roll the whole thing out as one piece. It's big, it's heavy, it's annoying. He made it flexible. So I can't question whether or not the price that they set makes sense. But I know that if I'm using a piece of gear and I start to mess with it and I'm like, I mean, this is good stuff. And I put every single head I own, this is pretty good stuff. I can't question the cost, because if his truss at his size and everything is the only one that can do that thing, you can charge whatever you want. And then it's the market's choice to decide whether or not they're going to buy it. But there's no rule that says it has to be a certain thing, because, a global truss is $500. But what's funny about the global truss? People always say that, oh, well, I can get a global truss. I can do this. Yeah, you can, but you are forgetting the global truss is $500. And then you need, 2 of them. And then so you're down. Now we're at $1,000 right there. And then the global trusses don't come with bases. They don't come with bases. So now you got to buy bases. Bases are super expensive. They're like $250 to $300 a piece. I've seen them as high as 4, to be honest with you. We own like 6 of them. So yeah, I would say around 3. So let's just say they're 3 a piece. So now we're at $1,600, and then you get the tops. The tops are like 70, 75 each. So what did I say we were at? 3, 6, yeah, 1,600. So another 300, another 150. So you're at 1,750. And then you want to buy some scrims probably. So now you're at about $1,800. Now you're at about $1,800 right there. Okay. The standard $2,000. So, I mean, come on. Yeah. MKBHD is like, he's one of my favorites. He's really, really good. And, I watched both videos, and the problem is, and he's absolutely right, his numbers are so big that if he says something, it moves the needle. Okay. But before his review came out on, what is that product called? It's a little AI pen. I can't think of the name right now. Humpter's in my head, but it's needless to say. But it's not the AI pen. It's got there's a name for it. But needless to say, the company name, I should say. I watched all the reviews. His review was the last review. Human. Thank you. Humane, or it's like humane or human or something like that. Yeah. His review was the last one to come out. I watched probably 6 other well-known tech YouTubers review that product, and they all trashed it. All of them. He waited like 4 days after them and then finally released his, and now they're saying it's his fault and how bad he is. Maybe you need to get more perspective. Maybe if you looked at the other reviewers and you saw that they were all trashing it, that you would sit there and say, you know what? Maybe they're all just kind of right. Maybe it's just not that good of a product yet. And he did exactly what he was supposed to do. That's all I'm going to say. Linus Tech Tips may be bigger, but I like Linus Tech Tips. I do. And they have a couple of shows that I watch all the time. The one with the 2 guys, they do quick beats, and I watch it. It's like a news thing, but they're a part of LTT. I think Linus got burned a little bit on a couple of previous videos that he did. He kind of went after a couple of companies, and the people didn't like it. I think a lot of people watch Linus just because he just has the numbers. But I truly believe that people watch MKBHD. And, now having said that, I did watch LTT's video on the Apple Vision Pro, because I wanted to know what he would say, considering he's not really a Mac lover. He's really, he's a PC guy, and his review was very, very good there. But some reviews, I'm just like, whatever. Anyway, neither here nor there. I like them both though. All right, let me see. I think you mentioned one time, learn how to DJ using your ears. Yes, exactly, Will. All right, if you get the DJ add-on with Tidal, it will allow you to use stems in Serato. Absolutely. I upgraded to Serato. I opened the software. As soon as I plug in my controller, the software freezes and closes. When I open it again, it works fine. Happened a few times now. Any advice? clear out your preferences. Go into the Serato preferences folder, which is most of the time hidden, and then go into the preferences, and then you're going to delete your preferences.p list. And I'm assuming you're using a Mac. I don't even know if you are or not. Maybe that's wrong. But that's usually the problem. You just got corrupted preferences. Okay. Apioid. The Humpter dance is a chance to do the humps. Like say you were okay. Pioneer test screen hot cues suck. DJ Joe, damn, I already got that. All right, new update, Tidal, DJ Pro for Tidal stems. Great. Good for them. Good for them. Can I have a T7 update, please? I can't support a company that doesn't want to support themselves. I just can't. I can't. And okay, we won't keep going on. All right. Triple seeing that. Angelo in the building. All right, I'm going back up to see if I've missed some, and I know I've probably missed some. Take your time to think about the controller and tell us about it. Why? Hey, if you got some money to build a controller, we'll talk then. But you know, that's a lot of work, and I'm busy. I'm super busy right now, and busier than I want to be. Did we talk about Coachella? Yes, we did. Have had time to check out the Osmo Pocket 3. I have not. You know, guys, there is a new piece of hardware that comes out every third day. Okay, in all honesty, especially when you're talking about cameras and video equipment and all that stuff. You know, I just literally we have a 360 booth, and I was like, I need a GoPro. You know, because GoPro is just the easiest way to run them, and so I'm like looking around, and I'm like, okay, do I buy the 12? Buy the 11. How about the 10? 10 gave me everything. I looked at all the reviews. People are like, if you have the 10, there's no need for the 11. And I looked at the 12. They're like, if you have the 10, there's no need for the 12. I'm like, okay, 10 it is. I bought the 10. I've been using the 10. I've been using it a couple of times for some videos. It's good enough. So I don't have time. Like right now, there's a new lens. Okay, so this is my Sony. I use the A7 IV. But this is a 16 to 35 f4 G lens. It's great lens, right? And they just came out with a new one, 16 to 35 2.8, almost the same damn price. Am I mad? No, because I didn't have that then. I've had this lens for like 2 years. So why can they be mad? Because they finally figured out a way to make a G class lens, a 2.8. Am I going to buy it? Hell yes, I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it at the moment because I don't need it, but I'm definitely going to buy it. 2.8 when I'm shooting videos inside clubs. Oh, amazing. Okay. All right. So I am up to Scrooge McDuck and my comments have frozen. So if you had any more comments that I missed, drop them in here, please. That was my last one from Rick. Yes, we talked about Coachella, Netscape. Never heard of her. Dusty Setup. All right. Let's go back down here. All right. Queso, ask. Let's see here. Have you ever been overlooked? Have you ever been overlooked before? Yes. Because I think the DJ agency I'm affiliated with is making me feel like that. Shouldn't I feel upset about it and prove them wrong? Okay. Let's do some tough love / truth. Okay. Here's facts. All right. Most DJ agencies don't care about you. And I'm talking from the bottom of the barrel to the tippy top. So I'm not going to name names, but to the tippy top. The reason why I say this is because I know people that have worked for the most ghetto agencies and the ones that have been signed to the equivalent best agencies. Okay. And the God's honest truth is most of them, they do not care. They only care about making money off of your name. So the bigger name you have, the more love that you get. The smaller your name, the more they're going to disregard you and the more you're going to have to work yourself to get your gigs. I know people right now that have signed contracts with some of the biggest agencies out for DJs. And I'm like, hey, oh, you're with this company. Well, that's really impressive. And they're like, yeah. Like, well, why don't you sound happy? Well, they don't really do anything for me. I got to find my own gigs. I got to do all this stuff. And then they just take a cut when they bill the client. So I don't necessarily think that they are all operating in good faith. Just facts. Just go out and get your own, you know? I mean, look, their placement just like anything else, and they're going to place whom they think is going to make them the most money. Okay. I'm not mad. I can still sell this. I can sell this for half the price, and then I get halfway through it, but I'll keep it. It's an F4, so it's going to be great when I'm going to get an A7 for my overhead. So this will be the perfect lens. I don't need a 2.8 for to review equipment. I need it to be as clear as possible. So this F4 is going to do just fine. I think it's Regal says on this topic, should I wait for the upcoming 4-channel controller with motorized platters or go ahead and get the Rain 4? These questions always make me laugh a little bit. And the reason why is because you have to decide what is important to you. Okay? I can tell you what's important to me, and I can tell you that for me specifically, when I reviewed the Rain 4, I said, it's a good product. I sent it back. People were like, what do you mean? Why did you send it back? Did you not like it? I wanted moving platters. That's why I use my Rev 7 because of the moving platters. So, with the Rain Performer coming out with moving platters, it's going to be much higher on my list, but that's for me. Some people don't like moving platters at all. I have friends that are like, I don't like them. Why? The moving platters, I don't really like the moving platters. Okay, fair enough. So get the Rain 4. So I can't, and Mac Joseph saying, get the Rain Performer. Stop. You can't, stop. You have to get what makes sense to you. If you like moving platters, to me, it's a no-brainer. Okay? But if you are not sure about moving platters, then it's just going to add more weight to your setup. See, Mac? See, there's more to it. Just going to add more weight to your setup. And now, if something's going to be heavier, it's because there's something in it that I need. You get what I'm saying? If something's going to be heavier, but I'm not just going to grab heavy just because, ooh, look, no, I don't want that. Rev 7, heavy. Rain 4, not heavy. Rain Performer. Anyway, 40 pounds on the GD motors alone. Fortunately, it's not that heavy. Fortunately, none of them are that heavy. Okay. It's nice because you don't have to worry about framing a shot at a gig. Yep, exactly. Absolutely. But you got to use their software too. And that's another whole nother animal. I'm really getting tired of like every piece of equipment requiring their own software to work properly. Like, let me pull it in Final Cut and just make a plugin for Final Cut, please. Can you do that for me? Why do I have to use your software? Then I got to pull it back in and maybe again, pull it back into Final Cut. Like, come on. Just, I'm over it. Do you think any big company will buy Algorithm? I don't think, are they on the market? I don't think they're on the market. I think whatever they think they're doing fine. You know, apparently they don't need to MIDI map several controllers, so I guess they're doing fine. Okay. Let's see here. 904 Lounge, what's going on? All right. Is there any news on new Ring controller? Seen a lot of chatter. The news is there's a new Ring controller coming out. Won't tell you when. I'll just say it'll be out this year. Sooner than later. Okay. Positive C asks QSC or RCF for a small starter system. Why in the world are you spending RCF money? Okay. I don't consider RCF prices small startup money. I just don't, you know. And even with QSC, you know, the that's not, RCF is not startup to me. Akoa LD is startup to me, but not RCF, not QSC. I consider those to be both. I consider QSC to be midline, midline to upper midline, the same way I feel about the SRX system. It's like midline to upper midline from JBL. RCF, midline to upper midline, you know, until you start getting into like higher end speakers, which I consider to be like top. I think those are all like in the same weight class. But I don't consider RCF prices that you can do smarter, that you can do a starter system. There's a DJ app. I think Mac Joseph is secretly working for DJ. Yeah, you're right, Philip. You're absolutely right. Yeah, but here's the thing. And this argument is, and you're actually correct. Okay. Like when I did my video on the ST Lives from Denon and I said, this is just too expensive for what it's offering. Don't buy this, buy a Prime 4. Don't buy this, buy a Prime 2. Like I said that in the video. And I got a lot of heat from it. But with MKBHDs, everybody had said, don't buy this product. So by the time he said it, you should have known that it was a thing. But people, you know, people are going to people. All right. I think I have too many frequencies going here. My keyboard's acting stupid. All right, let's go back down. We are not getting a Thursday show. I have too much stuff going on tomorrow, Jody. Sorry. I would have rather had it on Thursday, to be honest with you. I went over for DJ. There you go. You'll be retired before they come out with the new operating system on Tractor. Manuel says, good day. Are there other standalone controllers with 32-bit sound cards? No, not 32-bit floating. For most people, it's not really a thing that they need. Although, you know, one can argue that the Euphonics is kind of showing you what 32-bit can do. Yeah, no, not really. Harbinger and Rockville are beginners. There you go. Thank you, Mac Attack. I've never used a Rockville speaker. I have used a Harbinger. Mackie is an entry level speaker. Mackie's the same thing, you know. So yeah. CT on a Wednesday, did I sleep through? Hey Matt, how's it going? Good to see you. Okay. Yeah, Mackie. Yes, they were. I really want to Rain 4, but the amount of problems I read in the forum terrify me. It's just too many people, and I know. Okay, so first off, one thing that you will know about in music is that they're sneakily quiet about doing subtle, like mark revision A updates. You know, they did that with the Rain 12s. You know, they had one, got a lot of problems. They came out with a revision, didn't even tell anybody that it was a revision, and people were like, "Hey, the plugs are in a different place." That's weird because they fixed some of the issues. So, I can't speak for the Rain 4 and all of its issues if they got a revision update, but I know that's been much quieter on anybody buying a newer Rain 4. But I will say, I can't say anything. I'll say is this: most of the time in music, when they come out with a secondary version, it's better, obviously, than their first one, which is, I guess you could argue that for any product. So knowing that I just said that, you can extrapolate where I'm going with it. Maybe Apple will buy them. Maybe. People can rock Technics all they want, but doesn't mean that I am. I'm gonna catch heat, but moving platters are for DJs who grew up on real tables. Okay. I understand your logic, and you are absolutely right. I'm wondering why I'm like I'm bright, but I'm not as bright. I'm totally did not turn on the other light. I'm like, why am I having to sit at 640? I never have to sit at 640. That's better. Okay. The Rev 7 was specifically made for DJs that use turntables. Specifically made. That was the way, that's what they wanted, and it's done well. But I think it's also for people that were never able to use rotating platters. And now they have an opportunity. And if you can use them, same thing with the Rain 1, if you can use them, it gives you a better understanding of using actual turntables. Are they different? Yes. But it's the equivalent of like having a automatic transition with the paddles. Like it's going to get you, oh, I see. So I have to do this to get it to change gears. So then I can, okay, I got it now. I got it. That's kind of what like this is for, phase is the same way. So yes and no, yes and no. I get what you're saying though. Okay. All right. We are at 11:30. I have to be off by 12. If you guys have any questions, make sure you hit that, ask in the front. I have 5K to spend on speakers. Well, then you're not talking about entry level Positive T. You're not talking about entry level at 5K. 5K can get you, a medium. I mean, what are we talking about here? I mean, if you're trying to get like a point source or column array, that's the question mark. And then how big are your parties? How big are your average parties? There's a lot of little variables in there that we need to know. All right, Rev 7 allows a new DJ to buy more Rain platters. Yeah, buy 2 Rain 12s and mixers. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I have Rev 7 because it's a space saver. That too. Saw the prices on the Yamaha DRZ drop. Is it a good buy? I don't know. I don't even know what the price of a Yamaha DRZ is. You guys sometimes literally talk to me like I am Guitar Center. It's not even coming up. Yeah, give me more information because the only thing that's coming up is a Suzuki. DJ Remark. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. If you guys aren't following Remark, you need to follow Remark, especially on Twitch. He DJs like, I don't know, 2-3 days a week now. Make sure you follow him. He's fantastic. He's a great guy. He's a part of it's part of Mini Cruise. But make sure you follow him. Anyway, I love the Rev 7. Hey, we all scratch a little bit here. That's okay. over their favorite EDM track. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate that. Sir, I've been really busy, but did you do a review on the wireless moving light from the party on Sunday? First off, it's the Chauvet Intimidator Free 60 ILS, and I shot the video. If you guys notice, I posted the stand today or last night. I'm gonna post the 60 today. It's already shot. I just have to edit it now. I'm gonna post the 60 today, and then I keep having problems. Not problems related to the gear, but more knowledge problems with the Command ILS. I've shot it now twice, and 2 times it's behaved differently. So I had to go back and check out the manual. See, the problem is, one of the problems with the Command ILS is that the manual doesn't tell you stuff that it does. It only tells you very kind of surface level information. That's the worst part of the Command ILS, because a couple times I'm like, oh, and it doesn't do this, and then I'm starting to mess with buttons. I'm like, wait a minute, it does do this. Like, why isn't this in the manual? You know, so the ILS, Command ILS, maybe if I can get it done, maybe I can do it on Thursday. If I can shoot the video on Thursday for the Command, I can have that out once I land on Sunday. If I can shoot it on Thursday, Friday, maybe even Friday. I'm at dance convention all day on Friday, so I can probably edit it on Friday and upload it. Maybe, if I can get all the content done. That's the key here. Okay. So yes, that video is coming up. It's a good video too. Very honest. Very MKB HD. Matthew says, with 5K, you're best off with some column arrays. Increase ever so slightly and get the 44 Gs. Listen to Matt. After flexing that your house looks like a Guitar Center. It does. And not in a good way. And not in a good way. RCF 9 series is what I'm looking at. Let's see here. I love my Ref 7, but 2 Cross 12s and S11 are my final boss, hopefully by Christmas. Look, there's no denying, okay? I have an S11 and I still have the PLX 1000s. I definitely love the Cross 12s. They're the best turntables, I think, on the planet right now. But even when I buy them, I'm not taking them out. I'm not. You know, I don't want that extra weight. I don't need that weight in order to do a good job. And I think that's really the issue. I can still scratch on my Ref 7. I can still do all the things, you know, or even, you know, when the Rain Performer comes out, like I can still do all the things. So I don't need that extra weight for me, but I will 100% have them in my house chilling because I love them, you know. Maybe once I get a roadie, for all of my parties. My partner has a roadie, so he's like, I'm gonna get some Cross 12s because he has the Humpter booth. He's the one with the Humpter booth. So he's like, I'm gonna start bringing my turntables now because I have more room. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But he only does that because he's got a roadie that sets up all his equipment. I could have a roadie, but I'm just not. I'm like, I don't need one. I don't need one. My Ref 7 is fine and my equipment is fine. Anyway. All right. Let's see here. T7, best spinning platter controller, hands down. That is not right. I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with the T7, but it's not the best spinning platters. They're very good for the cost, for the price, but no. But I do like them. I do, but we're not gonna just throw out there just like wild claims, just unsubstantiated claims. We're not gonna do that on this show. And I love the T7. I called the T7 the controller of the year for 23, and I still mean that. But Come on now. Let's be real about this. Okay. DJ Rook says, are all the spot and watch fixtures have different colors because ADJ and Chauvet changed their colors on DMX channels? Different bands don't match anymore. Do I buy all the lights that match colors? No, you don't. You there's an easy way to get around this, okay? Easy way. Use Sound Switch or use the WMX1 because it takes away that whole okay. So if you're rocking like a Chauvet, the old school fader DMX controllers, like the Obeys, whatever, right? And you know, they go from like, 4 all the way up to like 16. Anyway, imagine, I'm gonna use this because this is close to me. All right, so imagine that this guy, I'm trying to move around the text. Imagine that this is your Obey, and you have 8 of these, right? So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and they're all faders. Every fader, if you open up your light fixture, every fader represents a specific thing, a specific setting. So, for instance, 1 may be your dimmer, okay, which is the most important part because that's what brings your light up, right? So you got your dimmer. 2 is usually speaking on every single controller, every single person that programs in a light. Typically speaking, 2, it's either 1, 2, and 3 or 2, 3, and 4. And usually speaking, it goes dimmer and then red, green, blue, may switch between white or amber and pink, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So every system, if you have multiple fixtures, right? And you're trying to program in your scenes for that fixture on the faders. Well, first off, every scene, every fixture technically has its own DMX channel. So that's how you get away from like, oh, I'm moving this fader, now it's messing with everything. Because you can select what fixture you want to make the adjustments to. And then you save the scene with all of your fixtures in one. That way, if I hit this button is red, all my fixtures are going to turn red, all my fixtures are going to turn green. That's the old way. I used to do that for all my trusses, right? And it took a long time, but I was able to do it. Now, with the WMX, with Sound Switch, the colors don't matter. Okay, what channel the colors are is irrelevant because they are going to basically code in when they pull in that fixture. Okay, so this is the gobos, and the gobos are going to go on the gobo channel. Doesn't matter if your gobo channel is 11 and the Chauvet gobo channel is 4, and then the ADJ is 14. It doesn't matter. It's just going to say this is the gobo channel, and they're going to go on the back end and say, but that gobo channel is really 14. Okay, your colors not going to matter, even if amber is 4 on your Chauvet, but it is 7 on like your Chinese knockoffs, it's okay. It's gonna say this is the color. So once you have that in, it doesn't matter what your movers are. You can do whatever you want. Red is red, green is green, blue is blue. Done. That's what you do. That's the easiest way. So and that'll save you a lot of time and frustration. It's been raining a lot in Southern California. I think I might have to do a little trim, a little bit. Professor BX in the building. What's going on? Okay, let's see here. All right. I know I saw one more question. Yes, I do. DJ Lab in the building. Did not see you. What's going on? How often do you use Serato Flip? Yes, I still have the Euphonia. I have not had a chance to really get in on it. And I'll get back to the flip question. Because I've been so busy. So, after I return from Pittsburgh, I will still be busy, but I will have a little more time. At that time, I think the LED wall will be in. So I'm kind of going to be at the office every day, all day, working on the LED wall. But besides that, I'm like, I'll probably be able to work on it after May because I'm traveling a lot. I I still have it. It's sitting right there in its beautiful glory. I just haven't had a chance. That's why I think I'm gonna do it. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, how often do you use Serato Flip? I use Flip every party, and the reason why I use Flip is because I have 4 or 5 tracks that I always play on parties, like "Hypnotize," um, from Biggie. Uh, he requires, because I didn't have at one point I didn't have a clean version of it, so I just went in and flipped it to a clean version. So instead of just downloading or buying a clean version, I'm just like, this is fine. It's been fine, and it's a really nice feature if you use Serato and you're only using Serato. It's a great plugin. Should they have updated it by now? Absolutely. They're missing out on such huge potentials if they would just put a little resources into Serato Flip. Serato Flip could be absolutely amazing. Serato Flip could literally change the world for DJs. In all honesty, once you factored in stems into the equation, Serato Flip and stems, bro, you never have to do anything. You program in your song. You don't have to download edits. You don't have to do anything. I'm very frustrated that they won't incorporate that in there. Very frustrated. Anyway, but I use Serato Flip every party. Okay. Otis says, what are some songs that do well at your gigs that you think would make great covers and produce? Oh God, Otis, that's a very long question. I mean, look, I'm playing 30 to 45 songs an hour. They all work. So, I don't know. I can't answer that. If you think about anything, basically I'm playing either super new Kid Ratchet, or right now with the age range that my families are, for the most part, I'm playing 90s, 2000s, a little bit of 80s, still a little bit of disco. So, take your pick. Literally pull up any classic from, the last top 100 and you'll be okay. First time DJing on Moving Platters, I played on Stanton. That was my first controller with Moving Platters. Okay. I wish Rain 1 and 707 could have a baby. They did. It's called the T7. I'm kidding. All right. I'm curious, what's your opinion on EV ETX system? I've never used them. I don't think I've used them. If I have, it wasn't by choice. Hold on, let's see, EV ETX. Oh, I have used them. They're fine. They're fine. I don't have look, guys. Once you get to a certain price point, in all honesty, I have yet to play on a bad set of speakers once you get to a certain price point, and that's the key here. It's just you're good. I still have Pioneer has a new Express 15 and a 10. 15 and a 10? They had a 10 before. They had a 10 and a 12, and now they have a 15. I have the 15s. They're sitting in my warehouse. They're still in their boxes. I have not opened them up yet. That's how busy I've been. But I will check them out. Anyway. 707 is amazing. Love mine. Well, you're going to have to keep loving it, considering I think it's been discontinued. Ain't nothing wrong with the Denon. Stems are very popular now. We will see like the Control S8 stem Citric controller soon. You're talking about Tractor? Tractor? We talking about Tractor? Tractor? Come on, man. And I know that nobody cares about Tractor. There are 6 people in America that use Tractor. there's a lot more on the other side and across the pond. Tractor. All right. Can't be as bad as how much Serato updates video. Yeah, well, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah, Serato has abandoned a lot of the Serato's like Serato can be like the Google of DJ equipment and DJ software. Like they'll come out with something and people be like, that's amazing. They're like, you know what? We're not selling. We're good. We're discontinuing it. You're like, wait, I use it. They're like, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I know they need some work. All right. Kevin Sound says, you don't think you want stems, then you try stems for the first time, then you find you never want to DJ in Serato without stems again. Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I don't know, man. I'm a different creature. Like this, I gotta literally WD-40 this chair. My whole thing about any gear is always love the features that you get, right? But never be afraid to do everything the old school way. So know the old school way. That way, people don't freak out when Tidal removes the streaming service because of stems, and people are like, I can't use stems with Tidal. Tidal sucks. I'm like, it just gave you every song you ever wanted on the planet. Now it sucks because it doesn't do stems that wasn't even theirs. Like, come on, people. Our perspectives for reality and for what things are and aren't is so just like absolute now. I'm going to say something that is going to be absolute, but you get the irony of it all. I will not do absolute positions. There's no place for absolute positions in this world. No place. Not when everybody has their own opinion and everybody has a different perspective and sees things differently. There's no room for absolutes. And that's all we're dealing with in the world right now is absolutes. It's either this way or this way. Can never be in the middle anymore. You either like this product or you hate this product. What do you mean you're just okay with it? What does that mean? I don't know how to take that. I can't take it's okay. I need you to shit on it. Shit on it. Or tell me you love it. It's the only way I'm going to buy it. It's just, I'm over it. What controller do you have on your own, not sent by companies for research and development or for review? What controller do I have? Look, first off, that's a relative question because I still have controllers everywhere. Have on my own, Rev 7. Have on my own, DDJ 1000, both SRT and Record Box. Technics 1200s, S11, Rain 70, several S9s, several Techniques 1200s, ranging from MK3 all the way up to the 5Gs. What else do I have? Still have a Rain 1 here. I still have a SX 2 in a case. Never use it. Still have one. I have several 62s, Rain 62s, several Rain 57s. I own a DJ company, so I have a lot of equipment. And I own a multi-op DJ company, so I got a lot of equipment. Okay, we got 9 more minutes. When do you think Rain will release the Performer? Sometime this year, sooner than later. What would be the best controller for travel, for a controller for travel events? Well, that depends on the event you're doing. These aren't questions that can easily be answered. I mean, if you wanted something you can just take around with you, but that can still work and can do the job, I would do like a Flex 4. I would even do like, this guy right here, this Rev 1. Flex 4. I do like the Flex 4 a little bit more because it definitely offers, just it's a smaller controller. It's a little higher, but it's a smaller controller. Like anytime you have, luggage, well, it may be the difference between having to do a super high luggage or a smaller luggage. Okay. If you wanted something a little bigger, I think the best controller that you can use is probably going to be somewhere around a Rev 5 or a DDJ 1000 if you can put it in a soft case and then take it on the plane, which I've done. You tell them it's a guitar case, and then they let you on with it. So that's probably the Roland 707 is a great controller too. I mean, you can go back to old school and pick yourself up a DDJ 800. That's classic. That one has all the bells and whistles. The 800. I'm still shocked, to be honest with you, that they don't have a true DDJ 800 update, because that guy had all the features. That thing was feature packed. Yeah, something like that. Newmark. You could probably drop a Newmark. Although the Newmarks are just typically a little longer. They make them longer, not wider. So I probably wouldn't go with something like that because it just won't fit. Okay. The Mixstream Pro Go crossfaders gave out after 40 gigs, bleeding from one side on it. Deference. I scratch from that side a lot. Now, okay, so it could just be your style of scratching. And I'm not saying that you're not right in what you're saying, because absolutely, if it's bleeding, it's bleeding. You know better than anybody. But just because it's bleeding for you doesn't mean it bleeds for everybody. I've had it for a while now. I've been using it, not exclusively, so I'm a little different. Haven't had any bleeds yet, but everybody DJs differently, like way differently. So, but if it doesn't work for you, then yes, absolutely, you're gonna want to, get into something else with a better fader, especially if you scratch a lot on that side. All right, 5 minutes left. Have you raised your prices since everyone and their mother is charging more for everything? I raised my prices right after the pandemic started opening up again. My prices were raised. I haven't raised them since then. I raised them when we first started to get back into work and parties were coming in. I probably raised them 4 or 5 times in different types of, because remember, we do a lot. We don't just do local events. We do local events. We do travel events. We do premium events, and all of those things have different price points. So, the local events, it went up a little bit. Basically whatever my second package was, that's the price that the first package is now. So yeah, it did go up to that part. The travel ones went up a lot. After we started reevaluating the cost of said travel, we realized that we were losing money every time we sent somebody to Arizona or the Bay Area. And we were like, nope, not doing that anymore. So we raised the price. There's no point in doing all these parties and not making any money off of them. If you're not making any money, then why do them? And then our premiums went up, I think 4 times, because people kept booking them and we wanted it to be a very exclusive type of thing. So we kept having to raise our prices. And you're talking to DJs. There is no reality. How soon do you make the switch to DJ full time? There won't be a full time State Farm. It's not going to happen because they don't have stuff for my equipment. How can I make the move if I can't use it on equipment that I use? I can't use it on the T7. I can't use it on the Rev 5. I can use it on the Rev 7, which is what I use. Who knows how long it's going to take them to ever come out whenever the Rain Performer is released. Who knows how long it's going to take them to get that out there. I can't. You at least have to, at least, just, it's a very frustrating point for me. S8 would be a beast in the market if it supported Serato stems. You guys love your S8s. Oh, that's a long thing, and I don't have time for that today. But we can come back. If you come back next week on Thursday, ask that same question. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Because there are some tips I can give you. Is the Chauvet Gig Bar move the best portable lighting for private corporate gigs considering value for money, or are there better values? That's not really a question if it's the best or not. It's more if it works for you. Yes. Are you getting, first off, I think the ILS version is just good enough for parties, in all honesty. For me personally. But it is what is the ILS? What is the Gig Bar ILS? I think it's like $1,400. $1,300. Okay. So $1,300 for that. You get two derbies that nobody cares about. You get two color washes that are important and two movers that are important, and a laser that nobody cares about. So in reality, you're getting two washes and two movers. Now, the washes are okay at best, and your movers are smaller than the 160s. So is it the best bang for your buck? I would say if you need something quick and easy, yes. If you want to be able to deliver more, then no. It just depends. I have an ILS. I use it all the time. It works. You know, especially if I'm doing small parties, then it's fine. If I'm doing a larger party, I'm doing 175, 150, 200 people. I'm not bringing the Gig Bar. If I am bringing the Gig Bar, I'm bringing the Gig Bar and I'm bringing the 160s, or I'm bringing the 60s. That's the only way to like have enough light if the room is big enough. If it's a small room, if it's a bar, yeah, small little room that fits 100 people, I'm definitely bringing the Gig Bar. So it just depends. It absolutely depends. All right. Yes, I use dolly. No, I don't use dollies for my subs. My subs are all on wheels. But get yourself some subs with wheels, and then you can put your highs on them too. And now you're making less trips. I have a dolly for my like my LDs, because they don't have wheels. I've been reviewing the DAS Audio 20As, the Duos, and they have a wheel attachment, which is very, very convenient. Okay, couple more. Oh, it's 12 o'clock. I gotta go. Let's see. Any more questions? I have a Pioneer and Serato. It's a crap system. Effects are okay. Tractor effects are really good. But you're making a blanket statement here. Which Pioneer system are you using? Are you using a Flex 4? Are you using a Rev 1? Are you using a Rev 7? Are you using an S11? Like, you can't say that statement without actually having the details of what you're using. Because are you using Serato effects, or are you using the internal effects that are on the board? There's more information that we would absolutely need. There you go. So what Professor BX is saying here is that you guys did not buy the DDJ 800. As great as it was, you didn't buy it. It's your fault that you don't have a new DDJ 800. Blame yourselves. That's what he just said on the subtle. All right. Okay. Any more one caller almost anybody talks about Mixar's Primo? Look, why I can't talk about it because it's discontinued. Like, I can never recommend a discontinued product to somebody. I just can't do it. I love my new 800. Uh, still shocked you haven't switched to VDJ yet? Matthew, I don't. VDJ and I have a solid working relationship. I appreciate them. They appreciate me. But I'm not connected to VDJ. Okay? See, all honesty, the way that VDJ runs, the way it operates is not for me in the way I DJ. That's it. Nothing wrong with VDJ. I'm just partial to other softwares. We'll say it that way. All right. Anyway, ILS Move weighs as much as it costs? No, stop. That thing's not that heavy. This guy is so cocky. Who wants to listen to this responses in his tone? Hey man, you don't have to be here. You know, I mean, I think I probably talk about DJ gear the way you talk about crypto. Anyway, okay. Anyway, I just bought DJ a few weeks ago. That's funny. Video idea showing how Serato matches your personal workflow mold in a V. But do you really want that? Because it sounds like justification, Matthew. And I'm not saying it to you, but that's what it sounds like to me. Like I don't. It's not really about justifying why I like a product over another one. I just like Serato over VDJ. You know, and VDJ does have some things that I could definitely comment on. You know, but it's better than it was when I first reviewed it. It's better than it was then. So I'm not going to complain too much. It does the job. I've used it plenty of times, but it's just not for me. Not for me. You know, visually, for first off, it's not for me. That's the key. It's not for me visually. Maybe we'll see. All right, guys. 12:05, which means I do have to go. So I will be back next week on Thursday. Hopefully, back on a regularly scheduled timing. You know, and if you want to hang out with my cocky self, then fine. If you don't, I don't care. That's the cockiness in me. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry for being so cocky. I wish there was something I could do about it, but it is what it is, man. I was born this way. My mama said I was pretty, and she gave me lots of compliments, and it just made me cocky. And now my son is cocky because he's this amazing tap dancer and DJ and tries. And when I'm bad at something, I practice and I get better. And then I know where my talents are and I know where my strengths and my weaknesses are. Damn. So cocky. I'm honest. You know what I found out? Cockiness isn't the issue. You're never cocky. You're never cocky. First off, black men aren't allowed to be cocky. I'm just going to say that flat out. You can leave with this. Any black man that has an opinion that is different than yours, I don't know what it is, but people don't like that. Then you come off cocky. If you're truthful and honest with people, you are cocky. I've seen it. I've seen it over and over again. I've been on this world a long time, and it's always the same ones. The ones that are outspoken, always cocky. Always cocky. I'm not meek. Sorry. You know, it is what it is, but that's just facts. I've seen it happen way too many times. So there you go. I just remember the Titans, and I feel like I'd rather be Denzel. All right, y'all. I got to roll. Have a great day. I will see you guys next Thursday, and cockiness will be right behind me. Thanks for hanging out. If you guys are in Pittsburgh next week, I will be in Pittsburgh. Level up, conference, Sunday through Wednesday. Should be a great time. Let's meet up. Let's have a good time. See you soon. Peace out.